Okay, it's just past 7 in the morning, and we got home from Mexico on Wednesday. I liked to say it was Thursday, but it was actually Wednesday. Everyone's asleep, feeling really great, and coming off of vacation a little bit sun-kissed. And I thought it would be a nice time to do a quick video ahead of the Mexico video. Welcome to Creative Wandering, the home of videos for dailycreatives.com, where I'm trying to answer the question, how to design a lifestyle you don't need a vacation from. We covered 4 continents, 19 countries, and 35 cities. Now we are happy to be back home in Canada. Check out dailycreatives.com. 2 times per week I will update the blog with interesting perspectives, cooking, projects, designing a life I don't need a vacation from. Welcome to my sacred space. I just love this room. I love the light that I get. It's not a full window because this is a converted bedroom, but my plant light, and I've got so much growth in here, alive things. I was sitting here doing my morning pages and just looking around the library here and thought it would be a nice chance to talk about all the projects that I have going on in 2019. They're not new necessarily, they're carryover, they're all kinds of different things that I've been working on. Got my new bullet journal set up, which I'll walk you through. I'm just a beginner and I'm not trying to make it an art project, at least not yet. For now, it's just this really nice little experimentation in journaling in a little bit more purposeful way. I like the idea of having a look back strategically and at certain time intervals and then logging that stuff into the next month. That just seems to fit my style of working really well. I think the whole notion of a project is that maybe it will never be finished, but that's okay. I reorganized my plants this morning because I wanted to make sure that the guys that were getting the least amount of light, he was back here, got moved around, and then some of them that have not been cared for very well in the past, now with the right kind of light that's been on a timer, just the right positioning, things are blooming. Christmas cactus, that's the second time it's bloomed and it's got some additional ones coming. I love coming in here. I don't think it really cleans the air. I don't think there's enough of them to really do that, but over time, I'd like to fill the perimeter of the room, get a second light, and just have this green, sort of alive room. It's not very big, so I think the plants could really make a difference. And I don't know, I just feel drawn to it. Maybe it's this chair that we got off the side of the road when Fisher was a baby and then spent a fortune having it recovered with fabric that I asked the guy to pick that would withstand children. And it definitely has done that. It's been worth every penny that I spent on it. And then adding my husband's chair and a big new TV. We've just got a really nice little setup in here. So even at times he feels comfortable to come in here. So it's not just my room, which is great. I heard back in the day that my grandmother had a room like this. Well, it was called their TV room, but it was just a converted bedroom just like this one. And my grandmother and grandfather evidently would sit up in the evening, watch the news. My grandma would be knitting with a knitting bag very similar to this one. Being able to come in here and get away from the world and just spend some time with my sweetie has really been a good thing. Anyways, without further ado, I'll take you for a walk around, highlight some of the projects that I'm working on, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, first up, my plant wall. I just converted an old bench, added in so many cool plants. My never-ending collection of sea glass, although this one is from Barcelona, so I feel quite specially attached to this one. Speaking of Barcelona, the first of our photo books that covers the first 2 months of our trip last year. Based on the other ones that I have done, I've got a lot more to go to finish that year off. My new daily pages, my morning pages, this one I got in Mexico, and then down here, those are the treasures from the trip. Okay, now for a tour of my bullet journal. This might be a little choppy because I don't know how to go in afterwards in the video and blur out the areas I don't want you to see. So I'm going to cover them up or just chop that bit out of the video. Anyways, it's your basic grid bullet journal. Starts out here, pretty basic information in the front. I haven't added too much. This is just my name and my website. Title page, common to everyone, lets you know exactly where to find things easily. Quote, 2019 at a glance. Nice little image that I found. I started the journal last year, so I had some monthly details. Then I have a key. The 2019 monthly details. 12. Then I have a monthly spread that I was playing with last year, where I had the days of the month, the big things to attend to, and then buckets here for the different parts of my life that I was working on. And then these were the daily spreads. Then I have here a project page for my book. It's going to be called The Grand Tour or something like that. That's going to be my tour planning workbook. Hopefully available sometime in 2019. This one is about the books I want to read in 2019, and I created a whole post about this that I'll link to. And then I have additional sort of classic books that I want to read. This is the page that I want to devote to my creative retreat that I'm going to have in September of 2019. So I started to collect some ideas, some costs and whatnot. This is a book that I read last year from the Woman's Book of Joy. Some interesting quotes and whatnot that I pulled from that book. And then in preparation for 2019, I have the review of 2018, and then how I think I did on my 2018 goals, and then what I'm doing to plan for 2019. This setup is a little bit different than anything I've done before, and it's really the top 10 action plan, but I need to go into more detail here. And to do that, I've started with what I want to accomplish in 2019 or what I want to work on. And now I need to go in and add more detail here. This is a new type of spread for January of 2019 where I've got the month and then I'm keeping track of memories and gratitude. And then this is a new way that I'm working on. Instead of doing a whole week over a spread, I'm doing 1 week per side. So the spread will have 2 weeks, and this was all about being on vacation, so pretty easy stuff in here to work on. And then smaller boxes rather than what you would have spread over 2 days. That's okay because I don't tend to write even when I'm at home. I don't tend to fill up all these boxes. So this is a blank one that I've got set up for the coming 2 weeks. And this shows the days of the week down here, shows projects, ideas, and then those goals that I was talking about, those big idea goals. I want to start keeping track daily of what I'm working towards, what I'm doing to work towards these goals. And so I think for now, this is a good way to do the weekly spreads and even the monthly with the gratitude and the memories. Pretty standard grid book. And then I'm going to add things like this in, where I'm starting to keep track of the big ideas and the big projects that I'm working on. I really like it. It is quite a satisfaction to work on. Some of my bullet journal supplies, some of my tech supplies, more tech over here. So Apple switched from doing their own printing of the photo books that I used to do for all the different vacations I've been on. This particular one was for Malta. It's a pretty nice way that the photos come out, depending on the format you choose. But then in September of last year, Apple decided not to do the printings anymore. So Mimeo is the place that I'm having it done, and this is in the US. Comes out of the US. And first of all, I can tell that somehow the jacket, and maybe it's just this first one, is not as tight as the other ones. And so that's a bit disappointing. And then I picked what I thought was a whole bunch of pages. And so maybe that's why the jacket's loose. But you can see it's not that many. And so for an entire 2 months trip, I just picked some of the best photos. And maybe I just jammed in too many to too few pages. But certainly the Mimeo books are far more expensive. But you can see what a spread looks like with black pages. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with this type of format for the rest of the trip, but I certainly like it. So that's how I'm recording in print all the photo books. And then I think what I'm also going to do, Apple gives you the opportunity out of photos to then do an online version, which would be done in a different program. And I think that might be fun to put up these printed books that I have for safekeeping or memories of for ourselves, and then do the online version of all of these so that anyone else who's interested in our trip could go and have a look at the memories that I chose to keep. Yeah, it's good. Thanks for watching. See you next time. For more information, head over to dailycreatives.com. See you over there.